We're going to look at it. So foul there on Indiana, on Hull there. But then that is a technical.
That is a technical. Dead ball, contact technical.
It's a little surprising to see so many of these happen in one game because...
Oh, and I don't like the way Lexie Hull...
The Indiana Fever entered Minnesota shorthanded, missing 5 key players: Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, Chloe BBY, Sydney Colson, and Ari McDonald, yet Odyssey Sims still limped onto the court to keep their playoff hopes alive. Despite their resilience, the night took a brutal turn when Lexie Hull was elbowed in the face by Kayla McBride, only for officials to call the foul on Hull. Clark was visibly furious, questioning how such calls continue to go against her team. With injuries already decimating the roster, questionable officiating is now adding to the uphill battle the Fever face in their playoff push.
Every time a game happens in the WNBA, somebody's getting abused, somebody getting beaten, somebody is getting hurt, man. Somebody is getting hurt every game in the WNBA, and they just fail to realize this, fail to have any protocols on stopping the nonsense, man. My goodness.
Imagine facing one of the league's toughest teams with more than half your roster unavailable. That's exactly what the Indiana Fever dealt with. Caitlin Clark has been out for over a month with a groin injury, Sophie Cunningham is done for the season with an MCL tear, Chloe BBY is nursing a knee issue, Sydney Colson suffered a torn ACL, and Ari McDonald is sidelined with a season-ending foot injury. That's 5 players gone. Even Odyssey Sims, signed on a hardship contract and effectively the backup to the backup for Clark, was far from healthy but still forced herself onto the court. Just listing those injuries is exhausting. Now imagine trying to win games like that.
The Indiana Fever's injury bug is getting into spooky territory. It seems like there's a new player every single day that's getting injured. Right now they have Caitlin Clark out, not sure if she will be returning this season. Sid Colson out with a season-ending ACL tear. Ari McDonald out with a season-ending fracture in her foot. Sophie Cunningham out with a season-ending MCL tear. And then just today, before the game, they announced that Chloe Bibby would be out with a knee injury, and basically they just said it's soreness and they're just playing it safe.
This wave of injuries didn't just sideline star players, it shattered the core of Indiana's rotations, wiping out their guard and wing depth and forcing players like Lexie Hull and Kelsey Mitchell to shoulder an overwhelming burden. Just 2 nights ago, again against Minnesota, Hull logged a career-high 37 minutes and scored 23 points, not out of luxury, but out of necessity, with no one else available to step in. When you're asking players to deliver more than they ever have night after night, every possession becomes a grind. Hull is capable of big performances, no doubt, but relying on your starters for heavy minutes simply because there's no one left is a monumental challenge.
Lexie, did you come into tonight kind of expecting to play darn near the whole game just with the injury situation and the personnel available?
Damn, you played 37 minutes.
I mean, you played a lot too, Kels. What did you play? 35. I mean, yeah, we're down people, so gotta suck it up, play a little tired a few minutes, and take in those timeouts as best we can. But yeah, I mean, we're down people, so everyone's got to do a little more.
The Fever's only lifeline has been a string of hardship contracts, emergency signings just to keep the team functional. Petty barely had time to unpack before being thrown into the rotation. Odyssey Sims was expected to lead despite battling injuries, and Ariel Powers was thrust into major minutes without having built any chemistry with the team. All 3 were given critical roles with no preparation or rhythm, forced straight into high-pressure situations. The result is a group trying to form connections on the fly while opponents exploit every gap, making it brutally difficult to find any real cohesion on the court.
We've had 3 players in the last I don't know how many days, and 2 of those players are point guards, so not really. But you know, at the same time, our ability to make plays out of what we have, right? I think a lot of our spacing allows players to do what they do best, creates opportunities for them to be successful, and then it's just making the right reads and finding the right pass, you know, on time, on target. And some of that is with experience with your teammates, and some of that is instinct. And so we are trying to do as much as we can to put players in position to use those instincts.
Even head coach Stephanie White acknowledged that the level of physicality Indiana faced was simply more than their depleted roster could handle, and that's putting it mildly. Every drive and defensive possession demanded maximum effort from a lineup with almost no depth. Still, Kelsey Mitchell gave everything she had, dropping 26 points, navigating constant traps and pressure, and at times looking like she might carry the Fever on her own. That's the kind of performance you expect from a superstar. But when the rest of your offense is patched together with injury replacements and last-minute signings, there's only so far one player can take you.
At this rate, the Fever are going to end the season with a completely different team than what they started the season with. And even the players that they're bringing in on hardship or that they're signing midway through the season, they're now going down with injuries. The season from hell would be an understatement on this team right now.
This loss wasn't about a lack of effort, it was about survival. The Fever showed incredible grit in a nightmare situation, refusing to back down despite being outnumbered and outmatched. But as brutal as the injury toll was, it wasn't the most damaging factor of the night. That distinction belonged to the officiating, which ultimately dealt the harshest blow.